Hey everyone, this is Drinks and Reviews podcast episode number 4. My name is Illyrio, along with my good friends Dave. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
We also got Goodell. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
And we also have Richard. What's up, buddy?
Hey guys.
Quiet
partner again.
So the big topic for this week, we got a great show. Netflix rebooted the Voltron. Classic 80s cartoon. I think we're all about the same age. This is back in 84, 85. I think we're about 7 or so. So the new show debuted. I think it's about 11 episodes or so. So I'm very excited to talk about this. So I'll go ahead and start on what I think about the show so far. As a fan of Voltron, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with what DreamWorks has done so far. I think it's good. And I'm totally enjoying the show. The only few things as a fan from the original show, of course, all of us could look back and we're always going to compare it to the old show, right? Is I only have a few gripes with it, but other than that, I'm really enjoying the show. I think they did a great job. One thing I will say though is I do love the new slicker version of the lions, and Voltron, of course, the detail, and it's somewhat true to the original Voltron. The action is badass. I'm really enjoying how the action sequence play out. Huge fan of the 2D animation mixed in with 3D animation. I'm glad it's not all CGI. I didn't see the original Voltrons. I mean, not the ones they did after the 80s. I think there was 2 other ones. So this is really my first one after the classics, and it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it a lot. What do you guys think, man?
I don't remember watching. I remember having a lunchbox of Voltron back in the day. I don't remember watching it that much, maybe as a kid, as much as I did Transformers. But
Excuse me.
watching. Sorry. Bless you. Watching.
Sorry.
Watching.
Thank you.
Watching this episode, man. I mean, the animation is just like you said. It's slick. It's one thing I don't. The reason why I don't watch a lot of anime is because there's too much going on. My mind is going crazy trying to keep up with who's shooting who's fighting who, and things like that. But this one was just done perfectly. Like it had just enough of action, but then it kind of I liked the parts where and this kind of reminded me a little bit of the old ones when they cut to the scene where it shows all 4 of them in the box.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it kind of keeps the story like you really feel for the characters a little bit in this one. I think they did a little bit more character development. Mm-hmm. But I just thought the animation was amazing. The first episode's an hour long, and like Goodell and I were saying earlier, it was a little hard to get through for the first episode, but knowing that each other episode's 23 minutes, I think I'll breeze by that tonight.
Yeah.
So, but I liked it overall. I think it's gonna do. I think it's gonna be. I'll look forward to it. The new ones. So.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think, Adele?
Well, like I say, I'm a huge fan of the original. I did see Third Dimension. I did see the one after that. And like I said, the first episode, since it is an hour long, it was kind of hard to. It was not hard, but it was kind of get through. But like I said, I'm a fan of the first one, and just hearing the theme music when that show would start would get me like all excited, would get me like all hyped up to watch Voltron. I remember I remember a lot of details of the original show. Then when I started watching this one, I gotta admit, I didn't like it at first. I wasn't really into the show. It didn't give me that nostalgia like I thought it would. But then when I got through it more and I started, I started cracking up at some of their jokes. The animation, I started looking at, okay, this is just like a brand new show. I kind of stopped trying to like compare it to the original. And on its own, it is a good show. I am starting to enjoy it more, especially now I saw the second episode. It went a lot quicker. It doesn't give me that nostalgia as the original show, but as its own new reboot, it's I'm enjoying it. I like the animation. I like the storyline that they changed some things around. but they're making it work, and I really think that they're on the right track for the season.
You think they're sticking to the original, or is it that they're sticking to the original like storyline, or are they trying to relaunch like a whole different?
No, they've done a whole different story, because even the pilots of the Lions, they're different. Yeah, they got the new pilot for the black one, the new pilot for the red, and the new pilot for the blue. They even changed out one of the characters, which I don't know if anybody's gotten that far, but they changed out a different character. I mean, like I've been reading, because even my sister was asking me how I liked it, or whatever, and I told her, like, I don't know, there's something missing about it. Like I used to be really excited to watch it. And then I even showed her a YouTube clip of the old original Voltron, and I showed her it too. She's like, "Oh yeah, I can see what you're talking about, the differences and stuff." But I mean, I was a little bummed out when I was watching it, but then I was like, you know what? Let me really give it a real chance. And at the end of the first episode, I became a fan.
You know, I will tell you this, man. When I told you guys what I thought about the show, I kept a lot of my gripes until later on. One thing that was really cool to see in this one episode is, I don't know if you guys remember, but the original cartoons, it took a few episodes before we actually got to see Voltron for the first time.
I remember that,
Yeah, so it wasn't like the first episode or anything like that. I don't remember how many episodes it was, but it was actually quite a few. So that was kind of cool for us to see Voltron in the first episode.
I think it took like 6 episodes.
Yeah, and Goodell, I'm like you, dude, is because I grew up watching the original ones. I mean, I remember sitting down on the floor watching the cartoons, and it was just one of those things where you see a robot, and I don't know about you guys, but whenever I would see all the lions go up, you know, you felt you wanted to be one of those lions. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Well, just the song in the background was what
yeah, exactly.
would do it for me.
But you know what though, like, and here's the thing, like, because we're a fan of the original cartoons, we're always going to look back and kind of compare this show to the original ones, right? Here's the thing to me that I didn't like, and when I say these small gripes, it doesn't outweigh. I'm still enjoying the show, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying because of this I don't like it. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. But to me, it ain't Voltron in a way if it doesn't have, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. When you see them going up and, you know, to form Voltron, that theme, that catchy theme when they would go up and you would hear Keith, you know, say, form Voltron, and then, you know, you hear him say, legs connect, or arms connect, and this and that. Dude, it's like the theme here, and maybe we'll see this in the next few episodes. I've only seen 2 so far, so who knows? You know, we may see even Keith switch up and be the Black Lion. I don't know. But
he's not the Black Lion?
No, he's not the Black Lion.
No, well, he wasn't. Yeah, that's one of the things I was telling you about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's this guy. His character's name is Shiro. He's the Black Lion, basically.
Well, Shiro was actually he was Fen in the original show.
Mm-hmm.
That's his real name. That was his name in the Japanese version, so that's what they named him here now. So that he was a character in the original show, but he was the Blue Lion.
Yeah.
Before the princess took over.
But it's like you know, and I'm only saying this because I've only seen 2 episodes. I haven't seen the whole series, so who knows what we'll see mid-season or whatever. But like, if in my opinion, I think what I would have done, it would have been so sweet, man. Is like, why not make a modern take on the classic Voltron theme, or remix it and add it to this? You know what I mean? I think that would have been really cool. Like right now, the whole soundtrack when they're transforming, I think is kind of bland and weak. But you know, it is what it is. But I think if they would have added the original theme, it would have been awesome, man.
It goes back, Lario, to, you know, I always had this, you know, things where, do you think something's good because it's good, or do you think something's good because it reminds you of your youth? So when you're saying something's bland, you know, you're saying that because you're watching this for the first time. And when you watched Voltron for the first time, which you can't remember,
right?
You know, you didn't say, "Oh man, I like that theme song." You say it now because you're older and it reminds you of your youth. but I think they're trying to target. I think they're trying to get the old school, like us that remember that, and trying to tap into our youth a little bit. But I think they're trying to start something completely different and kind of go on their own a little bit. That's what I think. I think if they do too much, and I understand with the remix and trying to make it, but if they do too much, then on the other hand, someone's going to say, well, now they're just trying to remake the old show.
Right.
So they got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, but you know what, Dave? On that front though, like I did like the music though when I was a kid, and that's when, especially when I would hear it, I could be in another room, and if that TV was on and I heard it, I ran across the damn house just to watch, just get into
but you liked the song.
The music,
But you liked it because you heard it so many times.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I knew that was Voltron. You get me? Like, you hear that song, and it's like, damn, I'm gonna watch Voltron.
Yeah, the kids that are watching it now are gonna hear this, and they're gonna do the same thing. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But there's no song. There's nothing like really to make it like this is what they're forming. Like that song could be anywhere in the show, but there's nothing like to distinguish that that's what they're doing to form Voltron.
Well, none of us have seen the whole season yet, right?
No, that's true. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, now.
They could, I don't know. They could do it.
I just hope by the end of the season we hear either Shiro or Keith call out the transformation man.
Right.
Well, he did. They did like a funny version on the second episode where they were like trying to do like that pyramid, and he does say, "Okay, you form the legs. I'm about to form the head." So it was like, I guess he's doing like a throwback to the old show. They did mention the connection, but they were just standing on top of each other. It's more comical now than it was. I mean, I think the original was a little bit more serious, a serious tone.
I think I go with what Dave was saying though. It's like they're trying to walk that fine line of trying to keep nostalgic, fans like us to watch the shows and to tune in, and watch, the new series. But they're also trying to get like the new generation too. So it's like they're trying to keep their feet on both sides of the gaps, and then so there has to be some new things that I guess you can't just totally remake an old show, because then it's gonna be like, well, you just
well, yeah, they did the same thing with He-Man and Thundercats. Thundercats was a completely different show as well, and I liked it.
Well, let me ask you a question. How do you feel about them redoing these childhood things? Because I feel like somebody's going in my room and playing with my toys when I'm not at home. You know what I mean? Like,
and then not putting it back
where they're supposed to be, man. And it's like, I don't know, man. And it's gonna bring me to the next thing I wanted to see if Valeria wants to talk about, but it's the same thing with Transformers, man. That show to me, man, was like, don't touch that show. And I remember when Michael Bay came and said we're going to do a Transformers movie, I wasn't cool about it. I knew right away it was going to suck. To me, I knew it right away, because even when they went off, like you saw the spin-off shows after the originals in '86, I think it was the original, or '85 or '84, something like that. But it's like, don't touch it, man. Leave it alone. And I don't know why. If they're not creative now. I mean, look at all the animation technology they have to do shows, and they're just going back and putting new paint on an old car. Yeah. And it's like, that's kind of how I feel with Voltron a little bit. And I'm trying to look at it in a different way. I'm trying to look at it like you said. You're trying to look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to compare it at all, because if I start comparing it, I'm not going to enjoy the show.
Right, that's what happened to me. Yeah, that's what happened to me.
Voltron is still an animated series, whereas with Transformers, they just took that and it was like, all right, the first one was like, the first remake of Transformers was, all right, let's go for the novelty factor of it, and it was kind of cool. But man, I think we talked about this, on the second podcast. Like, I think I chimed in on it. It was, it's like it's just like a junkyard, just having sex with each other, and you just see parts on the screen and you don't even know what's going on, and it's just like they've totally like obliterated the entire, like, they're just gone for full, just trying to make as much bang for the buck. They're not keeping to any type of the original Transformers. That's just I mean, to me, it's just like the I think I mentioned it before. The next couple of movies that they're coming out is just like I don't even want to watch them.
No.
They're just you're just
Well,
like you're blurring the screen to me. Like you can't even focus on what's going on. Which is so much.
well, they changed. Yeah,
crap.
I mean, I agree. They changed. I think it was the second Transformers movie. I think a lot of complaints was it was too tight of a shot. You know, when they were fighting, it was too close.
Yeah.
And because the robots are so big. So in the last movie, which a lot of people hated, I thought was one of the better ones, in my opinion. Just in terms of it looked better. It was more zoomed out. I don't know if you noticed that, but there were a lot of shots that were zoomed out, and you kind of knew what was going on, and you could follow it easier. But you say it's just a cartoon now, Rich, but when Voltron becomes popular again, which they're trying to do, I guarantee you they're going to do a live action.
Well, they've talked about live action for quite some time now. I mean, that's been around during when Transformers first came out. They were talking about a live action Voltron. I don't know what happened to it.
Well, it's too close to the other thing. People are going to get confused with Transformers and Voltron.
Plus, even when Voltron was coming out, and then all those shows, even my sister was like, "Oh wow," because I told her, I was like, because she doesn't remember Voltron. I was like, "Oh, it's kind of looks like the original Power Rangers Megazord."
Right,
and when she saw it right now, she's like, "Oh wow, it does look like." So I really don't think a live action will come out anytime soon with a new Power Rangers movie coming out as well. Like that might. They might think they're trying to jump on the bandwagon.
Power Rangers is still on.
Yeah, no, Power Rangers is still on, but they're making a new movie though. They're bringing a new movie to theaters.
Didn't he kill somebody?
Who?
One of the Power Rangers?
Yeah, one of the. That's like a few seasons. Yeah.
No, like he murdered somebody in real life.
Yeah, no, he did. Okay. Well, one of the Red Rangers did. Yeah.
Well, thank God it wasn't the Black Ranger.
So yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, man. With the new Voltron, how did you guys feel about the humor in the show? And the reason I asked this, you look, if you guys remember the original show, it was a pretty serious show. It wasn't really any comedy. Honestly, dude, I don't think kids nowadays could handle the original Voltron. I don't think it would even be as good as it was back then, just because of the how shows are made today, I guess, with all the comedy. But I think what I was going to say though, in my opinion, man, the first episode was really good. The second episode, it really took the humor a little too far, I think. I don't know. It's good, but a lot of the cheesy stuff, in my opinion, like for example, what's that guy's name? Koran. He's kind of goofy and stuff, man. This guy was, and I know, Dave, you say, if we try to compare it to the original show or whatever, but some of the stuff is just kind of like, to me, it's not really funny.
I like the farting joke. That part. That part was awesome because I wasn't expecting that. He was like, shh, you hear that? I loved it, bro. I thought it was like, that was good.
They do that because kids nowadays think it's funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I thought it was good because the show started out really serious, and then when he did that, I'm like, all right, cool. I can kind of I mean, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy comedy a little bit.
There's even a part in there. You guys remember the space mice?
Yeah, there was only like two of them. Yeah.
That was really cool. But then you see Koran trying to instruct the space mice to make him a sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, funny. Oh man, that's. I mean, it was funny, but hopefully it ain't always that funny, because the original show was very, very serious, man. So
I think that's the tone that they're taking with this one, is that they're gonna make it more like a Japanese animation. Not with the big head screaming or anything like that, but more because you're right. The first one was more serious. It had death. And it was a lot of destruction, and this one doesn't seem. I mean, they're fighting and everything, but it doesn't seem like it's gone that far yet.
How do you guys feel about the new way we watch things now with Netflix? I mean, we have the whole season that we can just watch it, and before, you watched an episode and you didn't see a next one until the following week or so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work with. I mean, TV shows, it's fine. I don't care. But with this kind of stuff, I don't know. How do you feel about that? Being
I
able to
like
just
it.
watch the whole season.
I haven't seen all of it yet. I kind of like it though. I remember, if you remember of shows you would watch when we didn't have Netflix, you watch one episode, and if it leaves off on a cliffhanger, you had to wait a whole week. You're like, oh man, I gotta wait till next Tuesday or next Friday.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily bad though.
No, it's not bad at all. I mean, but I like having the option to, you know what, let me watch the next one, or you know what, let me wait until tomorrow. You make pretty much you set your own schedule when you watch the next episode. I think it's kind of cool, man.
Yeah, I guess for different things that are makes sense.
Yeah. Hey, I'm surprised.
I just like no commercials.
Yeah,
I just like it because there's no commercials.
I think that's the biggest thing.
You know what they should put, like old '80s commercials between these things. Man, like,
Yeah.
Like
the old MTV guy, got the glasses and
or like Castle Grayskull commercials.
Or Joe Camel smoking a pack of cigarettes.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, I'm surprised nobody has mentioned. You guys remember Peter Cullen was the guy that did the narrating on the original cartoons. I kind of miss his voice, man. You remember that?
Oh, Peter Cullen, yeah.
Is Peter Cullen the one from Transformers?
Yeah, Optimus Prime.
He's Optimus Prime.
Did he die?
No.
No.
No, he's still doing Optimus Prime's voice.
Hey, speaking of Transformers, what do you guys think about the new Blu-ray movie, the old school cartoon? It's coming out on Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah?
Transformers the movie?
It's the 30th anniversary for the Blu-ray and DVD is coming out.
Nice.
Yep.
Man, I had the 25th anniversary. I might get the 30th then.
It's coming out in September. It says the animated feature, full-length adaptation. Let me see. Let's see if it comes with anything. A full range of bonus content and collectible packaging are currently in development. Oh, this is cool. Look at this. In honor of the 30th anniversary of Transformers, the beloved animated feature will be newly remastered and transferred in HD from the original 35mm elements. That's pretty cool.
Interesting.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, so speaking of movies, then, so I think this show will do great. With that being said, huge fan of Thundercats, huge fan of Mask. I don't have a problem with them rebooting those cartoons with a newer look, a fresher look, for the new generation. That'd be kind of interesting to see. If this show does well, I think I would hope they would try and get those over. What do you guys think?
Well, they did Thundercats already.
Yeah. How many years ago?
That didn't go.
They did. Thundercats was like in 2012. It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
But it was a good show. I mean, I enjoyed that reboot. Even though it was different. It was the storylines were different from the original, and it was pretty good. I wish they had given it a chance. But when you don't have like those toy sales.
You remember He-Man? They rebooted He-Man. Was it 2002?
Yeah. See, that one I didn't mind either.
Yeah, He-Man was pretty good.
He-Man was pretty good, and they left it on a cliffhanger when they were going to go against Hordak, and so I wish they would have kept that one going too. But it's all about toys and toy sales. But they do Mask. I hope Netflix takes it over with DreamWorks like they're doing with Voltron, and not do it, because you don't need to. They're not basing on toy sales. They're basing, they're putting it on Netflix.
I heard a rumor. Oh, go ahead, Rich. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that for these companies now, it's easier. It's less of a risk to put it out on Netflix than to have to go out and try to find a network or whatever to try to air this. It's easy to try it out, and say, okay, we'll make one season of it, put it on Netflix, see how it does, and get the real fans out there, and then Netflix can come back and say whether it was successful or not, and go from there, because you're right, Goodell, if a lot of these guys are driven by like how many, how much merchandise they can sell. And if they can't make the sales or the marketing sales, then they're not going to be able to continue. Whereas like with Voltron, it may be a niche market for all we know. Maybe we're the only ones watching it. Maybe there are no younger generation watching it. But
I agree with that, man. I mean I agree with that.
Hey, it was funny, man. I was on YouTube reading comments about the show, and it's funny to read the younger audience, today's generation, on what they think of Voltron.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, Goodell, it was funny because I was cracking up. Some of the stuff that I was reading, dude, people were saying, "Is that the new Power Rangers in space?" Dude, here's another one. This was actually from a old school fan just like us, and it was funny because he said, you're in deep shit when the guy you're fighting toes roar at you. Dude,
that's true. That's another thing. You see all the lions roaring, and then one time you knew shit was about to go down.
Hey, and then I was actually watching this show with my daughter. She's 9 years old, and she was sitting down with me, and I said, "Hey, sit down with me. I want you to watch a new show they rebooted." I told her that I watched it when I was about 7, 8, and at first she didn't want to watch it, and when she did see it, she said to me, "This is almost like Transformers, then, right?" And I'm like, it's funny because Dave, you mentioned Transformers and stuff like that, and I said no, it's totally different. And then I said just check it out. So she saw it, and then she heard they were talking about, I think in one scene, I think Sarkon had to send out some drones or something like that, and she's like, "Oh, they got drones just like Star Wars."
Wow. Yeah. I mean.
It's just that you're competing against a lot of markets out. I mean, like the market right now. So I think it's kind of saturated with a lot of stuff kind of hitting. Trying to grab the attention of everybody at once. So you got Disney behind all these major blockbusters. You got all these Marvel. You got DC Comics. You got all this stuff coming at you. So it's kind of hard for this generation to try to focus, because I feel like for us, it was maybe fed to us little by little. Like if you really go back, I think back in the 80s, there wasn't, you didn't have 200 channels on TV. You only had, maybe like 20 channels. So whatever you were watching was kind of being fed to you little by little. So Star Wars came out, and then that was it. And then Transformers was on. So I feel like now is like they're just bombarding everybody with all these remakes with Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, Voltron, Transformers, you name it. It's just like they're just trying to shove everything down everybody's throat.
I was reading an article just now about that exact thing, that it says if you're an 80s kid, you're gonna hate watching movies now. Because, like same thing with Teenage Turtles. Listen, I was a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I had the toys, I had the video games, I watched the cartoons, all that. But when and I even watched the ones with Vanilla Ice, those ones, right? But when they're remaking
it,
the one with Vanilla Ice, remember?
Oh,
Go Ninja, Go Ninja.
Yeah.
But when they remade it again, I'm like, I said, why?
Yeah.
I mean, I had asked myself, why? Why are you remaking? Just because you're able to do something doesn't mean that you should. Just because technology you're able to have better special effects and whatever, it just doesn't mean you should. There's a lot of movies like I would never want them to redo. Back to the Future, love the movie, never want them to I don't want them touching that.
They actually talked about that.
They'll probably redo that one too.
They talked about them redoing that one. Hopefully they don't. But they're redoing Ghostbusters, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if
that's another thing, man.
I can't even stand to watch a new one.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it just to see whether it's a train wreck or it's a home run. I mean, you never know. When we don't want it, we're hating on it because we don't. You're messing with our childhood at this point. But
it's gonna be.
You never know.
But it's gonna be the same thing, Goodell. We're gonna be comparing it to the old movie, and we're not gonna enjoy the movie.
It's true.
Hey.
I mean, I try to go into these movies now with more of an open mind. Especially the comic book movies, I try to make sure that I'm not trying to compare it to the source material. Just want to enjoy the movie and see like how like I did with Fantastic Four. Everybody was like really hated Fantastic Four. I already knew that wasn't going to be any type of story adaptation of any story. So I just looked at it as like a sci-fi movie, and I didn't, I didn't come out like, I just looked at it as a sci-fi movie. I just didn't look at it as a Fantastic Four movie.
Did you watch it with one eye closed like this?
Yeah, but the same thing with Ghostbusters. Like my sister is looking forward to watch it, and she's she saw the originals, and I'm like, oh, what the hell? I want to check it out, but I might hate it. You know.
But here's the difference. Kids nowadays, like if my kids watch Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, they're gonna probably like the new one better than the old ones.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So there's a cross, where we again, it comes back to we like it because it reminds us of when we were young. Not necessarily it was a great movie.
Yeah. Well, that's
nostalgia.
that's the same thing. Right. We might hate it because it's messing with what we're used to.
There's certain things that are not necessarily good, but it just reminds us of something that was good.
Yeah.
And we'll always keep comparing things. These new movies coming out. See, now the Marvel movies, there's nothing to compare to.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So that's why I think we kind of like. I think that's why those do so well is because they were really never technically, made. But when you're going back and doing things like Teenage Turtles and Transformers and GoBots and all that stuff, it just starts to get,
Hey,
played out.
Going back to Voltron real quick. When I was a kid, and tell me if you guys saw the same thing. Did you guys think Paige was the girl?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Paige is, okay, never mind. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Paige, that's one of the changes in the show.
We were talking about movies with Voltron, and I know there was talks about them doing a Voltron movie right around when Transformers came out. I'll be honest with you, dude. Out of all the Transformers, the first one is still the best one to me. I can still think of quite a few directors that I would like to see their take on Voltron. And believe it or not, man, just because the first Transformers was awesome, and it's still the best one in my opinion.
Don't you dare say Michael Bay.
I would go with the Michael Bay Voltron.
No.
You know what? Like I said, there's several directors that I would like to see their take on it, but Michael Bay would be one of them in my opinion. Hey, so who would you like? Who would you like to direct the Voltron movie? I want to hear your take on it.
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams, yeah.
I would go with him too. He's one of mine. Even if Steven Spielberg, I would go with him too.
Yeah, but he's not.
Here's the thing with Steven Spielberg.
He produces movies, right?
Yeah, here's the thing with Steven Spielberg. I don't know if you guys watched. Was it not 8mm? What was that movie he did?
Oh, you're talking about?
Oh, I know. That train movie with the alien.
Right.
What the hell was that called?
It was like 8mm or something like that.
No,
8mm. Yeah. That's what's his face.
80mm, wasn't it?
I don't
8mm is ridiculous.
35 movies.
Way different film.
Completely different film.
That movie was like about snuff films and everything.
Well, after I watched that Steven Spielberg movie, I wanted to be snuffed, man. That was like, I don't know, man. There's certain people, like, I understand where Illyria's coming from with the first Transformers movie, but Illyria, don't forget, he did 3 other ones after that.
Yeah, of course.
Or 2 other ones after that.
That's the only reason I included him, though, because his first take on Transformers, to me, was actually badass.
But you're only as good as your last film, Illyria.
Yeah. But you know what? Hey, even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I know you didn't see it.
You're talking about Super 8. Super 8.
Super 8. Yeah.
Super 8. There you go.
Hey, so to recap, unless you guys have anything else about Voltron, you guys have anything else, or I wanted just to recap what you guys thought overall. What score do you give it so far with the 2 episodes or 1 episode you guys have seen?
The only thing I wanted to say, what I did like about about Voltron, though, right, this new one, the relationship between the Lions and the pilots itself. I don't remember them ever having that relationship in the old. They were just machines. This one, they actually have like a symbiotic relationship, where they both have to be in sync to run the.
Yeah, I so far I'm enjoying it. I give it 8 out of 10, man. So we'll see how it plays out to the end of the season and stuff.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, and for the only reason, I hope it's not. I hope it's not the same thing over and over and over again. I hope I'm all about story. So if the story's good and the story ends up being something, then I'll like it. But right now I'm giving it a 6 just for animation alone and the way it looks.
What about you, Goodell?
I'll give it an 8 too. I mean, like I said, I was kind of bummed out in the beginning, but as soon as I let go of my my comparison with the old school, I really did become a fan at the end. I even told my sister, I was like, you know what, this shit is pretty good. It got better, and the second episode was pretty good too. So I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, I gave it an 8 because it's missing my theme, and it's missing the formation. But again, I haven't seen the whole series, so it might be different at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to be 100% copy of the original,
right.
But I don't want it to lose what made the original awesome. Like those type of things is what for me is what Voltron is, like the theme, the way they assembled.
Right. All right. So next topic. I know Dave is not gonna chime in on anything because he doesn't like Destiny. Richard, you don't play Destiny, do you, man?
Not yet.
Oh man, you need to get on Destiny, bro. We got Goodell hooked up, man.
I'll leave it to the experts here to
yeah. No, I am hooked. I at least come home after work and I'll do bounties, and then once I'm done, it's like I feel like it was my second job there.
Yeah. So the new DLC, what is it called? Something Iron, Rise of Iron, out September 20th. It's a pretty big expansion, man. New story campaign, armor, new weapons, new raid, maximum light increase, even though they haven't announced up to what light we can go up to. New strikes, something called zone and social space, new crucible mode and maps, a new enemy faction and bosses. And I guess if you pre-order, you get the Iron Galahorn. So that's like one of the rocket launchers from Year 1 Destiny. I think it's gonna be good, man. I'm excited. I need to get back into Destiny because I took a break for about 2 to 3 weeks, it seems like. And I gotta complete a lot of my campaign quests, man. I know you got quite a few, right, Goodell?
I'm actually knocking them down. I think I have like 4 on each page. I only have 2 pages left open. So there's one mission that I actually, if I complete, it knocks out 2. Mm-hmm. And that one I'm gonna need help, like, because I'm getting my ass kicked on that. But yeah, I started doing them one by one. And that's why you saw my light jump from 313, now I'm up to like 323 after like 2 weeks. But I'm enjoying the game.
Lucky you, man. You only got 1 character. I got 3 characters, so I got quite a few missions on all 3 of them.
Oh yeah. I haven't started another character yet because I'm just trying to knock all those out. No, but I'm excited. The game is really cool.
Yeah.
You give it a chance, and if you're a big fan of RPGs, and first-person shooters, then you'll love this game because that's, Yes. I like the scenes. I like the art on every single when they go to different planets. When you go different, I mean, it's the story itself. I wish that they had more content on the story, but everything's doing the missions and even the multiplayer. So it's really cool. I like the. Especially when you start going against other teams and you meet other people, and I have about 10 people that I don't even know who they are all over the world, and they're all joining on my fire team almost every day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I gotta go ahead and pre-order it, man. So September 20th is when we'll be playing this new raid and new missions and stuff.
It's $30, right?
Yeah, $29.99, man.
$29.99.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have for topics, man. Do you guys want to bring anything else up before we close it up?
I'm good. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta be at work at 5:30. So.
No, I'm plenty of sleep. Man. What are you talking about?
What happened?
That's plenty of sleep.
That's plenty of sleep. Yeah,
man.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna play Destiny after this, Goodell.
I wish. I so wish. I so wish, but I probably would fall. The controller probably fall out of my hand because I right now I'm already falling asleep.
Yeah.
No, if I wasn't be standing in the sun all day tomorrow, I would sacrifice at least an hour. But
I know, right? All right, guys. So that's it for me, guys. To all our viewers and listeners, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to our podcast, and y'all have a good one. Bye, guys.
All right.
everything else. Alier, what are you doing, bro? You waiting? You're gonna?
Hey, I should have had this on when I was talking about Captain America.
Yeah, you should have. What other toys you have back there, bro? What other props you gonna bust out?
I don't know, man. I'll think about it next time.
All right.
Bust out my Boba Fett costume.